Last question. Being in the academic space, what does it mean to be a Black librarian in that space?
Whew, wow. So it sometimes can mean that you feel as though you have to prove that you belong in this academic space because, sometimes you're viewed as not necessarily as intelligent or, worthy of being in this space, being called faculty. Um, so it has been interesting, some of the microaggressive types of reactions or responses that I've received. But I'm somewhat fortunate because in my institution, I'm not the only one. Now, in other institutions, I was the only one. But in this institution, I have two other Black faculty librarian colleagues. And so we, sort of lean on each other and kind of, support each other, straighten each other's crowns, so to speak, just keep each other encouraged whenever we do run into, situations where, people may insinuate, well, how did you get here? And, that kind of thing. And how, how are you in this position? So it's really, you know, trying to navigate the perceptions about what our levels of intelligence are, what we may, know, what we bring to the table, and then when they find out, that's a whole nother level of, aggression because, we're go-getters, we want to do the best job possible. And so we're out there doing, grinding and doing the best that we can do, and that brings a whole nother level of I guess energy, if you will, towards us. So we tend to support one another in those situations, and just try to help one another navigate some slippery situations that we may find ourselves in. And one last thing, I'm in the state of Florida, and right now, we have laws on the books that prohibit using state funds towards DEI initiatives. And when I applied for my travel funds to go to attend a conference of African American librarians, I was interrogated, by the administration because they wanted to make sure that this wasn't something DEI related. And so we ended up, having a discussion. They called in the special counsel, the general counsel for the institution, who said there's no problem here. But I think that because of those laws, the administration they're terrified of trying of accepting the fact that I'm a Black professional woman and I want to go to a professional uh, um meeting that happens to be focused on African American librarians. So that was tough, but it was instructive. I learned a lot from that situation.
I'm sorry that you had to go through that because that sounds like some stuff like straight out of 1950, right?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I mean,
I mean, when I'm sitting here listening to you, I was like, wait, what? You had to be in.
oh yeah. They asked us questions like, "Well, are you organizing? Is there a call to action?" And I said, "Have you read ALA's mission statement? ALA has a call to action.
Yeah.
ALA does advocacy. So what are you talking about?" And these same people were going to go to ALA when they were asking us these questions. So, I had to bring that back around to them and say, this institution that, is sponsoring this conference is one of the caucuses of the ALA.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, they're terrified, unfortunately, because of the leadership of this state and, just the petty and vindictive way that, things have gone down here. So,
Well, I'm glad you in that position and you stood your ground and you told them exactly why you need to go to that conference because I feel like again you sharing your story I know that this is going to help with librarians in general to be able to stand up, because I mean it's a lot of crazy stuff going on out there, trying to criminalize librarians and
Yes.
trying to remove certain materials, and certain materials being reclassified and putting in the fiction section. It's crazy. It's
It
crazy,
is.
and I think we're gonna need your story, and then the stories of our forebears to really rely on and say, you know, we've been here before. We just need to stand the ground and continue
Yes.
to fight that fight. So I'm glad you're doing that. So is there anything